Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. And today's video we have some holiday cup battles. These holiday cup battles are pre-recorded and I played them in my own Discord against some people who are in the Discord. So if you aren't in Discord, make sure to join if you want to do some scrim battles before the cups go live. And I asked the community in the Discord to send me some battles and so we can do some holiday cup teams. And I tried two specific teams. One of them surprisingly did great. So without further ado, let's just watch the battles. And the team consists of Jelly with Bubble, with Vigoroth and Venusaur. So technically, I should be throwing a move there because if you're staying in, throw a move. If you don't want to swap, if you want to swap, just to swap out, because technically Vigoroth doesn't beat Gradient up energy up because they already have a move, right? They won't put the crunch to debuff me because if they do technically get the debuff, they can KO with the next two body slams. But I think they can do that straight body slam. I'm not sure. I haven't run the Sims and I think the crunch debuff is kind of needed. So here you're not supposed to bait as we have a hard answer, so this is kind of a bad play on my end. But to be fair, it's not going to do that much of a difference as Charizard will be extremely walled by the Jellicent. That we ended up grabbing a shield, but we could have ended up grabbing two shields or at least winning the game. And it didn't end up mattering that much because we have a Venusaur against their own Lantern. So what's the concept behind this team? The concept behind this team is that Vigoroth, Lantern are the best two Pokemons on this cup, beside Auroras. So Vigoroth, Auroras, and Lantern are the best three Pokemons in this cup. So I needed two Pokemons on this team to beat those three, and nothing can do it better than Jellicent and Venusaur. And Vigoroth is there because it's just the best Pokemon, so technically is a good safe swap. And it's there to bait out the Skeletor if they do have one. So in this matchup, Venusaur ended up sweeping their entire team. And you're going to see lots of Venusaur sweeps because nobody respects Venusaur. Here we're playing Bad Kusunul, another member of the community. And he is leading Vigoroth because Vigoroth is the best Pokemon in this cup. They safe swapped Lantern because it's one of the best Pokemons. And that's where Venusaur is going to shine. That was nice timing on their end, I think, if I remember correctly. And did you guys notice that they changed the grass animation? They added more leaves in between the leaves bubbles. I don't know when they did that. I overfarmed here for no reason, but to be honest, it also pressured them to throw their energy. So technically, it didn't end up being that bad of a move. And here we just go back to the Jellicent, and two Surfs should be able to do enough damage plus the bubbles. So we should leave this matchup with 2 or 3 bubbles extra. They decided to no shield, but they decided to shield, which tells me that they might have a fire in the back, but as long as, okay, it's Aurus. See, so this is a very meta team. Consists of the best 3 Pokemons in this cup, and this is why where Venusaur and Bubble, not Hex, Bubble Jelly are doing great. The thing about running Bubble over Hex, it just does more damage, but if you want to run it, if you want to be in safe situation, you just run Hex. For 2 matchups. Why Hex? Because you still beat Vigoroth with Hex, and you do technically better against Lantern as you win the 1-0, where you get to 2 Shadow Balls which KOs. Well, I don't know how that matchup does against the Bubble Jelly. And this matchup we were able to land. So since they are staying in, which tells me that they are weak to this, which they are supposed to, right? They should have a Vigoroth in the back, right? So we just shield because why not? And here in this matchup, they end up swapping into a grass that's not Venusaur. And there is one thing that Venusaur does better than everything as a grass Pokemon, which is destroying all the grass in the back. Someone might say like that's what Trevenant does. Well, technically both do it, but Venusaur is a better sweeper as Venusaur can sweep teams, while Trevenant is better on 1v1 matchup. You win with some slight health, because that just shows why the big reason is just because basically Frenzy Plant is so OP of a move, where like in most of the matchups you ended up killing them with Frenzy plus Vine Whips, and you ended up leaving with a Frenzy against the stuff that you beat. Blast Burn here doesn't KO, so it's supposed to throw a sort of, like as an example, the Trevenant into Medi matchup, Trevenant has to throw a Shadow Ball ASAP because 2 Ice Punches KO, right? While what Venusaur does, Venusaur can land a Frenzy and then Vine Whip all the way down. You can shield, and leave with lots of energy. Here we have Togedemaru. Togedemaru is a known Pokemon on PvPoke that's supposed to beat Vigoroth. But this matchup on PvPoke is a bait dependent matchup because Togedemaru has to land a Fell Stinger bait, then Wild Charge. So if you are in this situation, just don't shield the Vigoroth. Because if they bait Fell Stinger, which they do, you're gonna end up dying to the next move. So we called the bait, and then the opponent felt that they should get out because the baiting scenario did not go well for them. So that's technically how you're supposed to play it as a Vigoroth. I feel like as a Togedemaru, just Wild Charge and Dip would be the ideal play. Dubhole into Vigoroth. I think Dubhole just can outspam Vigoroth, but not when Vigoroth is up energy. They ended up bringing Vigoroth, and here is the thing, see guys, so I have a rank 1 Vigoroth, so if you look at this matchup, I'm just looking at my health, and I knew I could live another counted, see, so I committed to the Rock Slide. So if you see, we did the Rock Slide, and look how much health we have left. Just 1 HP, just lived long enough to throw the Rock Slide. This wouldn't be bad if we just throw the Body Slam, but hey, you should be aware of your health situation. You should know when you can commit and when you cannot. And you guys can see we ended up getting an extra counted. So now all we need to do is just to beat this Vigoroth, and we should win this game. Body Slam doesn't KO. That was a nice bait by them, to be honest, but at this point I can call a bait, but to be honest, it's so punishing. This matchup used to be like one side for the Charizard before the Rock Slide. Now with the Rock Slide Vigoroth, it feels so risky to call a bait because to be honest, Vigoroth did not need the Rock Slide buff, but Niantic was trying to make more counter users better in the Open Great League. That's what I'm assuming. So they ended up making, you know, like a freak in the OGL and the other in the teamed cups. Like Vigoroth with the Rock Slide is a good Pokemon now in OGL, not as OP as other Pokemon such as Poliwrath, but it's so OP in other cups. Here opponent swapped into Talonflame, so I swapped into Lantern. I think this is the second team that I'm using. I won't be using it that much because I hated the fact that I am not running a Shadow Charizard, which I will be probably building tomorrow. Opponent called it as they know that they don't win this matchup. They end up going back to the Obstagoon. Usually people with Obstagoon have Obstagoon and Vigoroth, and they lead Obstagoon because Frostlass is more common of a lead. And you want to have the Frostlass on the Obstagoon as Frostlass gives Vigoroth a hard time. This used to be in the past, but now Vigoroth has Rock Slide, right? So it's not that tough of a matchup. And the opponent here have a Lantern. So how am I supposed to play this? Well, technically I'm gonna no shield and go to Charizard and just to chip as much as I can. I could just stayed in, to be honest, and throw Rock Slides and the other stuff, and throw Rock Slides, Body Slams, and just shield and play it out, and then just outpace. But I'm like, I can just go Charizard and make them shield the Dragon Claws, right? And they cannot end up, they cannot overfarm, because the more they overfarm, the more Dragon Claws I will be able to get. So here, I ended up doing one counter for no reason, and I'm like, should I commit for the full farm down? And I forget that Lantern is just a freak of a Pokemon, and it lives so much, it has so much bulk. And if I just rolled my Body Slams, I would have knocked out the Lantern right there. But it ended up being a draw, so GG to my opponent. That was nicely done by the opponent, to be honest. Here, I asked them to send the battle again because I felt like I did a mistake on the swap, as here is the thing. If they have a Fly, Lantern wins the 0-2. So I'm not gonna shield here. And they threw the Fly. If this is a Brave Bird, I don't know how much it does. But yes, they basically cannot win this matchup here. And you don't need to shield if they have Fly. You win the 0-2. As long as they fly after one. If they double Flame Charge and Fly, I don't think you win. And here I ended up throwing the Surf, even though I had the Thunderbolt. So which showed like some lack of the awareness or of matchup awareness, where like you should know if you get to the move or not. But I'm like okay, let me just throw it because I wasn't fully aware. And my opponent here makes a nice catch, but to be honest, like look at that much, look how much damage that thing did. So now we try to play this matchup differently, as I played the Lantern into Talonflame better. Like I'm not supposed to throw, so why would I throw? And why did I aggressively swap to Lantern instead of against the Talonflame? Because I'm not expecting people to use Venusaur in day one, so that's why we're making this video. Make people aware about the Venusaur, and we ended up winning 2 shields. Here we're playing Arceus, and Arceus is using Shadow Magnezone. Shadow Magnezone is a nice Pokemon. Altaria and Vigoroth. This used to be a matchup that Vigoroth cannot win, but now look at this. We landed the Rock Slide, and Altaria like the Sky Tag got nerfed like twice so far. So now since I landed the Rock Slide KOs, so I can aggressively go for the bait, which ended up being landed. So here's the thing. I go for another bait because I know if they shield, I can get to another one. Opponent was forced to call it, and we ended up winning swap. So did that matter that much? Well, here's the thing. I don't care about whether it does or no, but all I care about is just getting the Altaria as low as possible, because I don't have an Altaria answer, and you saw how amazingly Vigoroth did it. I think here there was an over tap, so I was supposed to throw, but the game ended up giving me an extra fast move, and I didn't want to throw in bad timing. Sorry guys. Okay, we saw the Sludge here, and since we landed the Sludge, look at that. I was triple debuffed, and Sludge did that much. So imagine a non-debuffed Sludge, how much it would do to Dragonite. So now all I need to do here is just to let it get to the second surf. I think I get it right before they get to the Dragon Claw, which will end up KOing the Dragonite. So Dragonite, I wouldn't say it's a good Pokemon in this cup, but it's actually not bad. Like, it doesn't beat Spark Lantern, but it definitely beat Water Gun Lantern. So it depends. If people are running Water Gun Lantern, I think Shadow Dragonite would be a nice pick. I didn't know about this Pokemon tech, to be honest, so I'm like, let me safe swap Vigoroth. And again, got punished hard with a Pillow Sand. Pillow Sand technically is the Pokemon that walls everything about Vigoroth. And 3 Rock Slides don't even get it close to KO. But the thing is, we have 2 hard answers for the Pillow Sand, because Pillow Sand shared some weaknesses from Lantern, okay? Both are weak to Venusaur, both are weak to Bubble Jelly. I mean, they are also weak to Hex Jelly, so there is no point. So I'm gonna shield here because I'm expecting this to be a Shadow Ball. There is no point for them to bait. And on my opponent here, switch locked their Lantern, and this is again why Venusaur is so nice to have. I don't care to shield, and I'm gonna try to overfarm and then throw, and I think I'm just gonna throw the next one right the moment I get it, because I'm expecting it to be a CMP, which ended up being a CMP. So what's that gonna do? Well, now let's just CMP them. We ended up CMPing here as well, which is nice to see, because Venusaur wants CMP here, and if I get the shield here, all I need is to go and Shadow Ball this thing, and this should be a good game. See, so Vigoroth got extremely hard-walled, but Venusaur took care of the game, same as the Jellicent. So yeah, that was the last battle. So thank you so much everyone for watching, and special thank to Outtastic, Statistical, Arceus, and Fat Goosener from Discord, who helped me getting these battles ready, and helped me getting these battles done, so we guys can show you this team and the other one. I think the other one was basically Charizard, but I didn't run the Charizard one because I felt like I should be running the Shadow, and I need to use an Elite team. So hopefully I do it tomorrow, and we can give you more content around this cup. Yeah, so thank you so much everyone for watching, and again, special thanks to the people who practiced with me to get these battles done, on how the cup will look like. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace.